Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? Welcome to the session for today. I hope everyone is having a great day. Let me know in the chat where are you watching the session from, and we'll take it from there. I'm just checking. Let's quickly have a mic check. Can everyone hear me fine? Can I get some thumbs ups in the chat? And are you ready to learn the modern ways of taking your prompts to production with Firebase Studio and Google Gemini Code Assist? Are you ready? Let me know in the chat if everyone can hear me well. Good, awesome. I can see Ali who's here, who runs TensorFlow user group Islamabad. Welcome Ali. All right, so everyone can hear well. Okay. I'm seeing more messages as well. So we have Muhammad Ahmed who has joined. We have Yavar who has joined as well. Awesome. So what we are going to do is I'm going to also share link in the chat so you folks can also join. But we'll keep you off the screen, of course. And then what you can do is, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just setting a bunch of things here and there. Hello, Zishan. We have Hassan who has joined. We have Zishan Yusuf who has joined. We have Muhammad Mannan, greetings from Lahore. Greetings to you as well, brother. Awesome. Good stuff. So we'll just give it 4 more minutes and then we'll start, okay? Because I know people join a bit late usually. So we're gonna give some more minutes. Sure, Hakwal. Okay. Patrick, how's it going? Good morning to you as well. It's good. I haven't had my breakfast as I usually have, but it's good. Not too bad. Nothing to complain, to be honest. How about your morning? How is everyone's morning today? How are you doing? We're gonna start really soon, in a few minutes. You're probably gonna see me eating some stuff, but I want you to ignore that completely. Pretend that never happened. Okay. Abdullah Shahzad, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Arvin, good morning. Good morning to you as well. How's it going? Hello, everyone. Whoever is watching this video, make sure to smash the like button so this gets out, this gets spread out. People can follow the session, learn from it, and yeah, share with others as well. Zishan says, good. Abdullah says, just woke up. Well, good morning in that case. I woke up half an hour ago, and I still have to do my breakfast. Caption says, a bit sunny weather here, but waiting for the second wave of monsoon. Okay. The weather here in Stockholm is really nice as well. We have really sunny weather this week, but next week, yeah, we don't know how it's going to be. I think it's going to be rainy quite a lot. Hello, Hamza. How's it going, Hamza? Welcome to the stream. We're going to start in just a few minutes. I'll give it 2 more minutes so people can join, and then we can start. You can grab a glass of water, your laptop, if you want to try things alongside me, because there's going to be a few things that you can try out right away. So please feel free to grab your laptop, grab a glass of water, your coffee, whatever. It's gonna be a fun session, and we'll do this interactively. So I want you to be engaged in the comments. I want you to also respond to my questions when we'll do that, and I also want you to join my the demo app that I will share with you. It's gonna be fun. Amazing product says Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Farman Ali says nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. Can everybody write in the chat which city you're watching from? I know people from Islamabad are watching, people from um, people from Lahore are watching. Are there any other cities that people are watching from? So, everyone, this is what we are going to do. We're going to have the session, then we're going to have um, sort of a dialogue. So, I will invite you by sharing the link, so you can join the stream if you want, and you can have your camera on, your microphone on, and then we can have questions and answers as well about the session. So this is not going to be just me talking and talking. You will be engaging with me as well. We got Farman from Skardu, we got Abdullah from Islamabad, we got Zishan from Karachi. I'm from Karachi, by the way, as well. Amazing products is from Sheikhupura. That's awesome. We have Yavar, who's from Islamabad. We got someone from Peshawar as well. That's great. We have Noor, who's from Mansera. We got Muhammad Hassan from Faisalabad. Hamza says, we did a lot for the session. Thank you. No problem at all. Barakallah. Sorry, can you brief about Tech Stack demo app? Is it in Angular? It's not. It's going to be in Next.js and with Tailwind CSS. Ali Nawaz says, yay. Again, everyone, make sure to smash the like button if you have not done it already, so the video goes out, because this is free session, but it's going to be so much valuable for you. Trending Texas, Sargoda, Skardu, Gilgit Baltistan. I wish I could go to Skardu, Gilgit Baltistan sometime, hopefully in the years to come, inshallah. We have Peshawar, Sargoda, Ahmad. We have Caption from Chakwal. We have Khabab Khatak. Muhammad Kabab. Is Kabab or Khabab? Then we have Vihari, Fahim says, and then Khabab is from Peshawar. All right, everyone. I think we can start now. I've had a bit of coffee, a bit of paratha as well. So I think I have enough energy to start talking and sharing the slides. So, and we are also on time as well. So just give me one last bite. Okay, I think we are ready. So I'm gonna hide the messages now. And let's begin. Let me quickly adjust some of my settings. I'm hoping everyone can see the screen well. So we are starting, okay? So hello, everyone, and welcome to this particular session. Today, we are going to talk about something interesting. We know that AI is the new kid in town. Everybody is using it. And if you're not really using AI-assisted coding today, you're probably missing out. But before we jump to any of that, I want to quickly highlight that this session is organized by TensorFlow User Group Islamabad, and it has other names as well, but it is run by an amazing individual named Ali Nawaz, who is also in the chat. So if you can give a huge shout out to Ali. He's an amazing person. He's running several communities. He's running a lot of WhatsApp groups, and it's not just about running those groups. It's also about what impact that has. And I've seen myself that that impact is connecting a lot of developers together, bringing communities, enabling knowledge, skills growth, and all of that. And it's super amazing to see all of that myself. So a huge shout out to Ali, who is in the chat as well. And if you are not following TensorFlow user group Islamabad and you are in Islamabad or Lahore or in the cities around, I would highly encourage to join the community and then make it more fruitful by sharing your ideas on what you can improve about the community, what kind of events do you want, because the more feedback you give, the more events can happen, the better the community can work as well. So having said that, let's quickly jump to the talk. So we're going to talk about Firebase Studio and Gemini Code Assist. So first of all, I want you to realize that all of you who are joining this on a Sunday is an amazing thing in itself. You're not sleeping, you're not relaxing on your bed, you're not watching a movie, you're not doing anything else. You are someone who's taken action to do something that is beneficial for your growth, your career. So every one of you who's joining this event, let me tell you that you are builders, you're problem solvers, you're innovators, you have ideas that can help people with certain tasks. And if not anyone else, then just you yourself as well. So you can make applications, you can create products that help your daily life, your routine, your struggles, and whatnot. So just keep that in mind that you're nonetheless compared to anyone else. So when we talk about ideas, when we talk about these sparks that we usually get when we think about a new product, what usually happens when it comes to products, you can easily say, or let me know in the chat if that's wrong, that every one of you who is here has thought of a project, has created it or developed it using, I don't know, React, Angular, what it may be, and at some point it then just died, and we have this graveyard of projects which die on localhost. So this is something that I've been saying for years, that I have a graveyard of localhost projects. Some projects died on localhost 4200, specifically Angular projects, some on 3000, specifically React projects or Next.js projects, and some on localhost 8000. Let me know in the chat if you are someone also who has had these projects and they died, for example, on on localhost. So let me know in the chat if you have had similar experience as well. I'm gonna increase my screen a bit here as well. So let us know in the chat. Have you had any projects that you created that died on localhost on any port, and which ports were they? Now, moving forward, when we talk about these ideas, these are the amazing ideas that you have had either, I don't know, in the shower. You could have had an idea that you wrote on a napkin, on a notebook. All of those ideas are something that we get so excited about. We think, okay, this is going to be a brilliant idea. Sometimes when we are having a cup of tea with our friends, we are like, okay, this is the new $1 billion idea, or this is something that I'm going to push to my company or to my friends, etc., etc. So all of those ideas are something that make us so excited until Monday morning, because Monday is when dreams meet with reality. So you face reality, you think about, okay, what do I need to do now to make this project real or something that goes out to actual users? You think about setting up the server, you think about the database schema, you think about the authentication flow, how that would look like. You would think about the boilerplate that you're going to use. Are you going to use an already made GitHub project? Are you going to create something from scratch? Suddenly, your brilliant idea that you had before, it essentially just gets burdened under this whole notion of these are all the things that I need to do, and this initial spark that we usually have, yes, it just gets buried. inside sort of an avalanche of configuration, which is not really fun. So what happens is that another idea that you have, it goes out from your laptop, and then it joins the graves in the graveyard. So you have another project that died on localhost, which is sad. So everyone who's joining today, my name is Mohammed Ahsan. I'm an award-winning educator. I've been awarded multiple times. We're going to talk about that. I'm an author of 3 worldwide published books. I'm also a speaker who has spoken to international conferences, both in Pakistan and outside as well. And I'm someone who generates content or creates content on YouTube. I have many courses. I have a web development course in Urdu. I have a React.js course in Urdu. I have 3 books on Angular, and my title right now is being a software architect at Scania, um, and I'm someone who is acknowledged by Google in Angular. So I'm a GDE in Angular at the moment. So these are some of the awards that I've recently gotten: JS Hero of Education in this conference called JavaScript Poland, and then just last month I got awarded by Google itself, or the GDE program, for my YouTube content, or being an educator on YouTube. So that was fun, and this is my book that was. That was published recently, but this is not free anymore. Now it's published on Amazon. So let's go back. Let's go back to this graveyard that we talked about, where you have all your projects dying, the plethora of stuff to be done being the reason. What if we could skip all of the hard parts, or what? They usually say, like, let's skip to the good part. So what if we could skip the boring parts, and we can focus on what we want to do instead of how we want to do it, because that's going to eliminate all this stuff that we really need to do, or we really need to think, plan, execute. Let's talk about what usually a development cycle looks like. You start with coding something, then you move towards building it, then you test your code, then you release your code to production, to actual users, then you monitor the changes, you see if there are any incidents happening, there are any 400 calls, 4xx, 5xx, whatever. Then you operate on the issues that come in, then you code again, build again, test, release, monitor, operate, and this loop goes on and on and on. And it's a lot of stuff to do, to be honest. When it comes to the questions regarding even coding or starting somewhere, you will see yourself struggling with a lot of areas. For example, you're going to ask, what is my technology stack? What am I working with? What are the dependencies of my project that I want to create? So you have an amazing idea, but you don't really know which technology stack to use, which libraries to use, etc., etc. What you're building is secure or not secure? Is it scalable? Is it performant? All of that. And then there's so many questions that come in that you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's just do the regular 9 to 5 job, which is okay, of course, but your idea actually goes into the bin, and you don't really take it forward. If you talk about how people really use AI, there are 2 different extremes to it. On the left side, you're going to see developers who want control, who want to just take assistance from AI, review the code, and then basically approve that, and then they sort of ship that code. So these are developers who just use AI for assistance, but they have the control themselves. On the other extreme, we have people or developers who just give a prompt, and then they let the AI do all the things, which is called vibe coding, so to say. So in that particular case, on the case of this right side extreme, we have AI who has the driving wheel. The AI decides what files to create, update, etc., and all of that. And then in the middle, we have developer who collaborate with AI to build applications with supervision, but they have a balance of all of those things. Personally, I think I like the sweet spot somewhat around here. I want the AI to generate the code for me, but I can review that particular code. And why I like this particular approach for myself is because I'm a senior software engineer. I can write the code that AI does for me, or at least most of that code. And all I need to do is to review the code and see if that is the one that I really want, or it's scalable, it's secure, it's okay, the logic is good, etc., etc. So I think something around here would be good. I want you to tell me in the comments which extreme do you think is okay. Is it the developer side which you would want to go with, which is minimal assistance, or sorry, minimal assistance from AI but developer having the whole control, or would you go towards the AI extreme where you want to let AI write all of the stuff, and then you can review the code when you want here and there, but it's AI mostly generating the idea. So I want you to comment, is it the developer extreme that you want to go towards, or AI extreme? So let me know in the comments. Now, when it comes to making these choices, today we have something amazing that is available for us to use, and that is Firebase Studio. Now, you may have used other tools like V0, we have Bolt.new, we have um, which other projects do we have? We have Lovable, etc., etc. But I personally think that the experience that I've had with Firebase Studio is just remarkable, and the things it enables to do for not just writing code and generating an app, but actually taking it, as the title of this talk says, from production, or sorry, from prompt to production. So it's not just building something, but actually shipping this to production, which is secure, which is scalable, and all of those things in between as well. So we have people, someone says we have developer side that is recommended, someone says AI extreme. And again, all of those approaches are good in certain contexts, so you have to decide for yourself where you want to go. When we talk about Firebase Studio, it has so many things that we can discuss that are valuable, that this session would be, I don't think how many hours long, but we can touch upon a few cool things that Firebase Studio allows us to do. First of all, it's a web-based IDE, so that means that all you need to code is just a browser. Secondly, it is built on VS Code. But even the web-based thing is remarkable. You don't need to have a high-end system. You don't need to have a high CPU, high RAM. All of those things you don't need to have, because the editor is running on Google's computing engines, and all you need to do is just open up a browser, or you have a device that opens up a browser, and then you can start coding or work on your project, which is amazing. Secondly, it's built on VS Code, so you probably are already familiar with VS Code. It's one of the lightest developer IDEs at the moment. And what you can do is that you can import all your extensions, your themes, etc., etc., to Firebase Studio, which makes things so much easier. And especially if you want to migrate from like a local IDE to Firebase Studio. And then there are so many other things. We have live preview, we have AI assistants, we have a whole cloud virtual machine running. So you have your terminal, you can run commands, install packages, etc., etc. What I like the most about this whole setup is that this is also built with Google integration. So if you want to use Firebase or Firebase Cloud Firestore, you have Firebase storage, you have authentication, which is with Firebase. All of those things are enabled. And in the future, we are hearing stories that you may also be able to integrate other third party integrations as well. But for now, of course, the Google integrations are available. So, the good part about all of this is that we have a choice. And as Google says, that having a choice is really important. Now, when we talk about having a choice, I want to have a choice as a developer always to decide how much AI I want to use, or how less of the AI I want to use, or how little AI I want to use. And with Firebase Studio, both of that is possible. We have two different kind of views in Firebase Studio. We have the AI centric view, which you can use to just tell AI using prompts what to do, and the AI will do it for you. In this particular mode, you don't really code or edit. All you need to do is give feedback to Firebase Studio, and it does all the things. The other view that we have is the code centric view. So let's take a step at a time. So this one is called, the AI centric view is called the prototyper mode. In this, you have a preview which shows your application in real time, how it looks, and how you can change certain things in here as well. And then on the right side, you have this chat that you have with Gemini. With which you can give prompts to add new features, remove features, change the UI, change the behavior, all of those things. And it automatically creates the files, etc., for all of that. The other view is, as I mentioned, this is the pro code mode or the code centric view. This is quite familiar to what we have in VS Code, for example. So you have your whole IDE on, you have a file tree, you can open certain files, you can see the preview of your web application here as well, which is amazing. And then you also have this code assistance on the side. This is the Gemini code assistance within the Pro Code view. And in here, you can ask again the same thing with Gemini. You can ask it to add new features, fix bugs, remove some features, even ask commands or ask if you don't really know about something. And if there's a terminal command for that, Gemini also tells you exactly what command to run, which was really helpful for me in the past. So I also want you to comment which view do you think is more suitable for you from what you have heard so far. Are you going to use the AI centric view more, where you give the prompt and let Firebase Studio generate all of the things? Or are you more interested in the code centric view, where you can see the code, update the code yourself, and take minimal help from Gemini here and there to add more features? So let me know in the comments what kind of view you prefer. Is it the AI centric view or is it the code centric view? In the meantime, we also have a question: what is the limitation of computing here? I don't know exactly, because when you say limitation of computing, you're essentially asking the web application how much traffic it can handle, so to say, or are you talking about how much Gemini you can use? So I'm confused between those two questions. When it comes to computing, your project is deployed on Google Cloud, and you can go on Google Cloud itself and you can change, for example, the memory, the CPU, what kind of machine you want your app to run on, just like you would do with a normal Google Cloud project. So it's the same thing. Mohammed Hamad says code centric view is best. We could be able to see the code. Connie says code centric. Okay, so a lot of people prefer code centric views. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So give me 1 second. I want to check. Da, 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 da. Customize. And we got this guy. I'm going to quickly change something because it seems like okay, good. I want to just make sure that I'm not coming in the view, and we have things that can be shown. So maybe I can put myself right here. All right, we can continue now, I think. Yeah, I think we can keep it like, because the aspect ratio doesn't seem good, so I'm gonna increase it a bit. And let's hope everything looks good as it should. That's too much. Let's bring this back. And let's keep it like this. Okay, good. So I can see in the chat we have code-centric view. People are more interested towards that. Hafiz is asking, if we update the code by ourselves and make changes our way, so will the Gemini will understand our code and will go with the flow of our changes? Yes, it will. So if you have questions that you want to ask Gemini, you can essentially make changes, or you can ask it to implement features, etc. And when you do so, you're going to be able to tell Gemini what features to add, and then it will adjust the code according to your suggestions, so to say. Okay. All right, let's move forward. So we talked about how we can use both these views. We have the AI centric views, we have the code centric view, and of course the really amazing thing about this is you can switch between these two views instantly. So you don't really have to wait to 5 minutes to switch from one view to another. It's really instant. It takes barely a couple of seconds, and then you're there. Now, what we are going to do is to look at a demo. Before doing that, I'm just gonna quickly open my project as well so we can take it from there. In the meantime, what I want you to do, everyone who's in the chat, first of all, make sure to smash the like button if you have not done that. But I want you to write sort of a prompt that you would give to an AI to create a project that you like. So think about a product idea or a small MVP project that you want to create using AI. What does that look like? And then what I'll do is that I'll pick one of those projects that you write in the comments, and then we are going to build that today with Firebase Studio. So make sure to write something or a project that you think is small, is good enough to be done within this session, for example. So don't ask, let's say, to create a whole clone on Netflix, etc., etc., but something that is concise, has a limited set of features, but is completely working. You can have authentication in that or not. It's up to you, but keep it simple, and we are going to see how Firebase Studio actually builds that. So write in the comments. Now let's move to the demo. So I'm going to show you something that I created while I was on an airport, because I was going to go to Dusseldorf, which is a city in Germany, and I had to give this talk, the same talk that you are having right now, there on a hack challenge. And I wanted to create an application that I could use there. And I'm someone who has given numerous talks, workshops, etc. And I really want that when people join my workshop, I can see how everyone is doing. Are they all doing the tasks correctly? Are they having any difficulties? Is someone stuck, for example? And what usually ends up happening is that people are shy of saying, okay, I'm stuck, or they shy away from asking for help. And I wanted to just create an application that the attendees could join easily. And then if they are stuck, they just raise their hand, and I can see on a dashboard, these number of people are stuck, or these number of people are done with the current task, and we can move to the next task, etc., etc. So what I started doing was this. I started giving Firebase Studio a prompt. I said, I'm a speaker and a software architect. I want to create an app that helps in my workshop. The app will allow attendees of workshops to join a particular workshop. Everyone assigned gets a random emoji and a random background color assigned to them. So you can imagine having a dashboard that shows all the attendees, and every attendee has a random emoji and a color to make something unique. Now you'll notice something here. Here you see that it says improve prompt. So when you try to give Firebase Studio a prompt that is really small, doesn't have too much context, Firebase Studio automatically gives you this option of improving the prompt. So it does it itself. A good way of always talking to AI is to be as descriptive as you can. Talk about the application you're building, talk about the features your application would have, talk about all the details that you can possibly think of. So I improved the prompt on my own. I added more things here. I said, okay, this app will allow attendees to join a particular workshop. Everyone assigned gets a random emoji and a random background color. Then I say to create some uniqueness. And then I say, once they join, I, the organizer, should be able to set a goal for the workshop. So this is a new feature that I'm asking it to implement. And everyone who's attending can just signal green, meaning they're done. So everyone can just press a button. And when they press a button, I will be able to see their emoji or their avatar to say, okay, I'm done. Similarly, they could press a button which is going to highlight red for them, and that means they are stuck. So any emoji that I see or any card that is red, that means they're stuck. And as an organizer, I should be able to clearly see this in a grid format. So I can see a grid of cards to see all my attendees, and basically see how many of them are red, how many of them are green, right? Additionally, I should be able to resize the grid. So this is another feature that I'm asking it to do, that if I see a grid, I see cards. If the cards are too big, I should be able to just use a slider to bring more cards in. So in the same page, I can see more cards. If their cards are smaller, then obviously we have more cards on the screen. So this is a feature that I'm adding as well. And then I'm saying use a database to save all attendees, workshops, goals, and count how many people are stuck, etc., etc. So this is the feature that I've asked it to do. So this is a fairly complex application. It's simple, but it's not like a to-do application. It requires some thought process, some UI thinking as well, and then also integration of database. When you do that, Firebase Studio does something cool, and this is something I've not seen in other tools which generate AI-based applications. So what it does is it provides you an app's blueprint, which means that you have a whole structure of, or a skeleton of, how the application is going to look like. So it highlights all the features that we have. We have the data storage, which means that we are going to be able to save all those workshops. We have attendees who could join. So this is a feature. We have status signaling, which means that people can say red or green if they're stuck or not. Then we have progress monitoring. So we can see sort of the whole grid. So here you can see a grid view for organizers to monitor attendee progress in real time, showing emoji, color, and status. Then we have a grid resizing feature for the organizers. So I can see more grids in the same view or less grids depending on the size. And then we have a reporting dashboard, etc. So these are the features that it has highlighted for us. Another thing that it does, which is really good for me because I'm a front end software architect, is that I am very visual. I want to see how my applications look like, what kind of font they would be using, what kind of color scheme they are going to use. And Firebase Studio tell you exactly that. So here you can see these are going to be the colors that I can choose. It's going to have the layout where we have a grid layout. For typography, it's going to use PT Sans, which is a really nice font as well. Then how it's going to use icons, animations. Then it talks about the stack. I don't have to decide what stack it's going to use for me if I'm just creating a prototype or a POC. So this Firebase Studio is really good, not only for developers, but also for project managers, product owners, to quickly prototype something and demo something that is possible. So here you can see that TypeScript, Next.js, Tailwind CSS, this is the stack. And then we are going to have Cloud Firestore for the database, of course, and then Firebase authentication for authentication purposes. Now, not only I can see all of this, I can also go ahead and I can edit this as well. Once you do so, you can see that Firebase Studio goes ahead and creates all of those changes. So far, it's like super cool. So far, you're going to be like, okay, I have given Firebase Studio some prompts. It looks good. It gives me this blueprint, and then, it generates some file. So all of this is like butterflies in sunshine until Monday morning. You remember what happens on Monday? On Monday, you face the reality. That's when dreams meet reality, and then you're like, oof, something went wrong. And that's exactly what happened when I was trying with this approach as well and creating this app, that Firebase got stuck, or it encountered an error. This error can be seen right here. So we are trying to use the Firebase's function sign in anonymously. But if you're a product owner and you're not a tech person, what do you do from here? The question would be, or the question is right now, that it got into an error. But a bigger question is, can it recover from it? Could you just ask the AI to fix itself? Or do you have to really understand and debug and then fix the error, which is the bigger question here? Well, in this particular view, you have two awesome choices. One, you can click this button and see what are the issues, so you can see the errors yourself. Obviously, that will give you more information. And on the other hand, we also have this fix error button that you can see right here. So when you click it, Firebase Studio automatically tries to fix the issue, or the prototyper essentially tries to do that as well. So all I had to do until this time is just click this button, fix the error, and there we go. We have our workshop Pulse application. So it automatically gave it some name, and it's generated. It's right here. So I have a form which I can use to generate a new workshop. And then the interesting part so far is that I have not written even a single line of code, and we have an app ready, or the UI ready, and it looks good. It doesn't look bad until this point. If I go to a particular workshop now, I can see something like this. So this is a dashboard view, and here you can see the number of attendees, how many of people are done, how many people are stuck. I can see the slider here, which will adjust the grid size for me and essentially can show more or less items as well. I can set the goal from this input, which is the current task that people are doing in the workshop. So that is also a feature that I wanted. So all of the things that I actually asked it to do is here, and it's implemented, and I didn't have to do anything at all. And how much time did it take? Barely, I don't know, 5 minutes, not more than that, right? So this is truly remarkable on what it could do. And we are going to check this application ourselves, and you're going to join the application to see your cards as well. So bear with me. Then what happened? I tried to join the particular workshop myself, and then I was like, okay, I can now have these two buttons. I can click I'm done, which means that I'm going to mark myself as green, or I can say I'm stuck, which will mark myself as stuck. So since I clicked I'm stuck, you can see the count of stuck also increases on the organizer's dashboard, so they can exactly see how many people are stuck or not. So far what I've done is this extreme on the right side, where we have the AI centric development. I just give prompts to AI and it generated something that works. So we have an app, I can create a workshop, I can join the workshop, I can mark myself stuck or green. All of that is cool. But the question is, can I do this? Can I go into the developer extreme, or at least somewhat around here, where I can just take assistance from AI and just take it from there? And I don't really rely on the AI as much. And we can absolutely do that because we can go to the mode, which is the Procode mode. So all you need to do to go there is at the top, there's this button called publish. And besides that, you have switch to code, which looks something like this. So all you need to do to go to Procode mode is switch to code. And when you do so, now you are here. In this mode, you still have the preview, right? You have your whole code base right here. You have the file tree, you can open files, you can make changes, etc. So there are a couple of things here. You have the code editor, you have the preview that's right here, and then you also have Gemini here as well. So not only in the prototyper mode you can ask AI for help, but you can also ask AI for help here in this particular mode. So then I went ahead, sorry. So then I went ahead and I went ahead with this particular prompt. I asked it to automatically track people who are joining and leaving. So if they leave the tab, they are going to be removed from the workshop. And then there was one thing that was bothering me. So far, you could do two things. You could either say green, which means that I'm done with the current task and I don't have to do anything more, or you could say I'm stuck. But once you are stuck, you can only say I'm done, and you cannot have this state where you can say I'm stuck. I was stuck. I'm unstuck now, and I'm making progress. So we don't have any state for people who are not stuck and they're not done. They're just making progress. So that's why I asked it to add a new feature. I said, allow people to be unstuck, give them a different button to mark them unstuck when they're stuck. So you see, I'm trying to provide AI as much context as possible. I'm just not saying allow people to be unstuck. I'm giving it more context on how I want that feature to be. And the more context or the more details you can give AI, of course, the better the output would be. Well, when I gave the AI this particular output or prompt, then this happened. It went ahead and it said, okay, an empty change was requested to this file, page CSX, and then it says, I've added functionality to track users joining and leaving. And then it also said that I've added the button that marks themselves as unstuck. You see the problem here. Can anyone try to point out what is wrong in this particular page? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to change the battery of my camera in the meantime. What is the problem right here on screen? All right, so did you figure out what is the issue with the current screen? What is wrong here? If you cannot see any issue, you can just say no. There's no issue in here. What do you think? I'm going to test you now how carefully you have been seeing this. So are there any issues with this or no? In the meantime, someone has said, if we update the code by ourselves and make changes our way, so Gemini will understand our code and go with the flow. Yes. I think I already answered that. Yes. Okay, so we have people who are saying no. Amazing Product says there's no issue. Okay, let me tell you what the issue is. It says I've added functionality and it says I've changed something, but here you say it says an empty change was requested to this file. So on one hand, Gemini is saying I've done this and this and this. On the other hand, I can see that it did not make any changes at all. It says an empty change was requested to this file. So if nothing is changed in my code, how has it implemented anything at all? And that's why I confronted Gemini and I was like, nope, you have not done anything at all. I want you to actually implement what I've asked. And I was nice. I said, okay, pretty please, can you do that? Instead of just saying that I did something and actually did not do anything at all. And that's when it actually gave this output. So previously it did not fix or it did not implement what it said it implemented, but now it gave me this change, or it said, okay, now I have some suggestions. The really good part here is when you're even using the pro code mode, that when you ask for changes and it recommends you some changes to a file, you can always go and review the changes. And that's exactly what I did. So I clicked review changes and I can see all this green thing. This is essentially which is created or added. And if there's something in red, obviously that line is removed. But now I can see that we have an add user function, a remove user function. We have interval. We also should have this unstuck as well. So here you can see we have a new use state here, or a state variable here, that is stuck updating, etc., etc. So we have some changes, and now I can say, okay, Gemini, you did something or you made the changes. Once I'm happy, I just click this update file button and the file is updated. So I can review the change and then I can accept or decline it. When I did that, now I had another button here, that is I am unstuck. So now we have three buttons: I'm done, I'm stuck, and then I'm unstuck. And this is exactly what I wanted. So it corrected it and implemented it itself. Now, if anyone wanted to get unstuck, they would just click this button and that is it. GG. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to fix, because now I want to show you how I can tweak little things here and there, and not just implementing big features, but also tweaking small things here and there as well. There was a problem with the workshop itself, and that is whenever I tried to go to a particular workshop, it would first show this message and then it would show the workshop itself. So in the meantime, I'm also gonna quickly open the deployed version as well, so we can see that as well. So here what usually happened is this error was being shown when the workshop was being loaded. So not because it was not found. The error is really misleading. So when the user goes to a particular workshop, they first see workshop not found, and then they see the workshop, which is confusing, right? So we don't really want to show workshop not found when the workshop is actually loading. So what I asked Gemini to basically do is, instead of showing the workshop not found when the workshop is loading, show the loading indicator. Really simple, right? So it went ahead and then it went to the page.tsx, it made some changes, and I said, okay, update the file. And after that, you can see that now we show a loader when you go to a particular workshop. And that is exactly what I wanted to do. I did not want to show that message workshop not found, but rather a loader. And one of the hardest things being a developer or front-end developer is that you center things, right? And you can see that it is fairly centered, maybe not vertically, but it's at least horizontally centered logo or a loading indicator. So once that was done, it was time to allow people to use it, or allow to use it on production. And that is exactly what we can do with Firebase Studio really quickly. So we can go ahead and say, okay, publish this application, which in turn then creates a Firebase project for this, which will also see if you have any particular features that you want from Firebase. For example, we had Firebase Firestore, we had authentication, etc. So all of those things are set up during this particular process. So now we can publish our application to Google Cloud. So first it creates a project, then you need to have a billing account associated with your Google project. So you need to have a billing account, and you can choose the pay as you go one, but a lot of it, or a huge quantity of the computation, is actually free. So this sort of plan is really flexible and also really what do you call it, developer friendly as well. So you have a really generous plan. that you can deploy your applications with. Anyways, so you create a project, you go to Google Cloud Billing account, you link your account, and then you can see it says enable Firebase services. When I click that, it essentially enabled what? It enabled Cloud Firestore because we use a database. It enabled authentication. It also is enabling Firebase app hosting. Well, Firebase app hosting is the service that is used when you want to deploy your Next.js based application. And this project that we are creating is a Next.js based application. So you can use Firebase app hosting to deploy this. Once this is deployed, we are good to go. We just wait for the publishing to be done. And once you're done with that, you get a nice little link that you can open and then you can try it out. So now is the time to check this out. And now is the time I want every one of you to take out your cameras and then you're going to join the particular workshop. So this is the app running in production, as you can see. And I'm going to create a new workshop for today. So here we go ahead and we say TensorFlow user group, Islamabad. And we can say build with AI session 7, right? And the first workshop goal is take a screenshot of the dashboard. That's what I'm going to put right now. Then what I can do is I can create the workshop. And now you can see that this is automatically created. So I did not have to code anything so far. As you can see, I did not have to write a single line of code. We have an app that works. I can create a workshop. I can automatically, when I create a workshop, it automatically takes me to the workshop page. I did not even have to click anything so far. You can see that we have the current sort of goal that is set here. Take a screenshot of the dashboard. We have the attendees done, unstuck. We have organizer controls as well. We are going to look into that a bit in a bit. But here you can see the dashboard as well. And here you're going to see that the workshops that I've created, I can see those. I can see the goal. I can see the workshop name. So this is the dashboard page. When I created it, I did not have to do anything to set this up. I did not have to even think about the database schema that I want to have for this application. And the database is actually set now. So if I go to actually console.firebase.google.com, I can actually go to Workshop Pulse and see the database that it has. For example, if I go here, I can show you quickly how the database looks like. So yeah, here you can see. So here we have all the workshops that you can see, right? And if I go to the one that we had just, so this is the one, TensorFlow user group Islamabad build with AI session 7. So this is the particular session that we have right here. And when you start joining as attendees, you can see the attendee count increasing automatically. We will see each attendee here as well. We're going to do this in just a minute. You can see the current goal as well. You can see organizer ID, which is my ID at the moment. So all of this is done. I did not have to write anything. And this is remarkable that everything is working as smoothly, right? So now if I go to the workshop that we have created, I also asked it to create a new feature for me, which I think is super cool. And that is why I asked you to take out your phone. So I asked it to implement a feature to show a QR code to join a particular workshop. Every workshop is unique. In the address bar, you're going to see the workshop ID. So since every URL is unique for each workshop, we can have a QR code to just join the workshop. So this is the QR code that I want you to scan from your phone, and I want you to join the workshop now. So you are now joining this workshop that I've created using Firebase Studio. And we are going to start seeing your emojis when you do so. So take out your phone, open the camera, scan it, and you're going to come directly to this page. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. And if you're having any issues in joining the workshop, just type in the chat and we'll see what's wrong. But I have had no issues people joining this in the past demos. So again, take out your camera, start scanning, and you will see that now people are joining in. So we got this emoji, which is fire emoji. We got a bulb here. So we got 2 people in. So scan the QR code and join. I can also join as well. And I'll show you how it looks like for me. So I'm opening the camera now and I'm scanning it. I can open it in Chrome. The third person, this muscle is not me. Now I'm going to join the workshop. And this guy is me, the guy with the hat. Okay, so I'm going to share the link in the chat as well, so you can join as well. So the QR code is not the only way you can do this, but you can also go ahead and do it via the link as well. So I'm going to share the link in the chat, and you can see the link there. Okay. So again, we have a lot of people in the. We have a couple of people, or at least 15 people watching from YouTube. We have someone joining from Twitch as well, a couple of folks from Facebook as well. So join the workshop. As you can see, a lot of people are joining as well. And I'm going to hide the QR code in just a bit, so you can join the link in the chat. So these are all the people that are joined, right? And my account is this one. So see, if I press I'm done, you're going to see a border around this. So you can see here, it would say green. Now you can see that this became green, right? I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I can just use the slider to do this, to make it like this, right? So this is me, the green one, or the guy with the hat. And then if I say I'm stuck, you can see that it flashes red. So this tells the organizer that, okay, this person is stuck. Then I can also say I'm unstuck, and you can see that it stops flashing now. So here you can see a lot of other people are trying it as well. So these 2 folks have said done, done. Everybody gets a unique one, and maybe you can all just say I'm stuck, and then we will have a grid of people who have read, and everybody is stuck in that case, which would mean that there is something really wrong with the workshop, or yeah, things need to be sorted out. I can also go ahead and decrease the size of the grid, so we can see everyone who is joining here. And this is super awesome, right? I want you to take a screenshot, whoever is joined this stream, so you can also then share with me or tag me on LinkedIn. You can just say, okay, I joined this workshop or this session with Ahsan, and then this is my emoji. So do that, and that is a really good way of basically showing that you join these sessions. It's good for your marketing as well, that whatever you're doing, you're interested in, etc., etc. So it's a good conversation in sparker, so to say. So take a screenshot of your own emoji, and then you can tag me on LinkedIn, and I will tag myself and whoever I can find, of course. All right. So this is the demo. You can see that this is something that I could build. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I just implemented this while I was on an airport, or at the airport, and I was trying to create an app for the next day, and I could build this in 1 hour, or maybe 1.5 hours. But majority of the time was just asking questions, just waiting for it to reply. 5 minutes were just taken for just publishing this application. But yeah, I could wait then. And you can see that I did not have to write any single line of code at all, which is super, super amazing. So we have this whole working application. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the title of or goal of this as well. So I'm going to say here that update screen, or we can say take screenshot and publish on LinkedIn, tag Ahsan, and I can maybe, let's see if it can include the link as well. So I'm going to say linkedin.com/in/Ahsan, which is my link. And then we can have maybe something like, I don't know, build with AI as a hashtag, right? If I save this now, let's see what happens. If I save this, you can see that this goal updated, and you can see on your dashboard as well that the goal got updated, and you can just use that, or even copy the link and see if this takes you to the right place, which it should. It should be taking you to my my profile on LinkedIn. But anyways, so now you can see everything works. Now we can also see that we have people who have joined as well. So I'm gonna take one last screenshot and then we'll take it from there. All right, and we are actually towards the end of our session. So I want to thank you, whoever has joined. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor to for people to join. So I'm going to share a link in the chat. So if you want to join this live stream right now, just make sure that you have at least your microphone on or you have your camera on, and then you can join the stream. So I'm sharing the link in the chat so you can see this. And then I can have maximum of, I think, 10 people in this stream. So you can join and then we can have a conversation, and I can then answer questions as well about this. And in the meantime, also, I want to generate a Firebase project right now based on your ideas. So if you have a product idea or a project idea that you want to get help with, or you want to have a project to show off, let me know in the comments and I can pick one of those and we can build it right away before we end this session. And if there are not going to be any of those, then we are going to just end this on this note. So again, if you want to join the stream, you have the link in the description, or you have the link in the comments. If you check the last comments, you should be able to see the link to join the stream, or you can just ask the question and then we will take it from there. And I'm gonna stop my presentation actually now. There we go. Okay, so we've got a question from unknown. Says, if Firebase Studios is able to create an app, then why would anybody want to pay the developer to create it? That's a good question, because the developer is the one who's creating the app. It's not Firebase Studios who's creating the app. So you can say a non-techie or a product owner or a project owner can come here. They can ask Firebase Studio to create the app, but if they don't have the sense of user experience, they don't know UI, they don't know certain user flows, they don't have the experience to do that, they cannot create a working application. And it's not about just Firebase Studio creating the app. You saw that it got stuck into an error, right? Then you also saw that I deployed the application. Sometimes things go wrong in deployment. And I've been doing a couple of live streams that you might have seen recently, in which I'm deploying a Python application, I'm deploying an Next.js application as well. And I have no clue of Python. I'm not a Python developer, but I was able to create and deploy a whole application with Python, with Firebase Studio. But because I am a senior developer, I know issues. I know there are issues with CORS when you have two different domains of the application. There was another issue that was really complex, and I just figured out last night when I was streaming, just around the end of the stream, about why I was not able to access an AI agent on one Google project from another Google project. And I could only do that by researching, asking Gemini why this is happening, and then it just clicked that okay, that's the reason. But neither Gemini told me about that, nor searching somewhere got me there. And the reason for that is that this problem was really unique. Nobody could have guessed it, and I couldn't guess it if I did not had previous experience. So the developers are still going to be relevant when it comes to AI tools. So you cannot. I think it's time, to be honest, that we go beyond this fear that AI is going to replace jobs, etc., etc. I don't think so. It's going to create more opportunities, or it's going to modify how we work. So there are going to be different roles, but they would still require developers, right? So AI assisted coding is something that you should really look into, because just using Firebase Studio, you cannot maintain an application for a longer run. You need developers. I hope that answers the question. What is the name or company of your headphones? My headphones are Steel Series, and I think the model is Octis Nova Pro Wireless. I can maybe share. If anyone wants to join this stream, please join and send me a message in the chat as well. Okay, I see there's a question from the chat. Someone has joined this stream. If you want to ask question, I can bring you on the stage. You don't have to turn on your camera, of course, but you can ask question then. Yes, and I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I need to change my headphone setting. Yes. So, Rabia, what's your question? I cannot hear you if you are speaking.
Sir, I say, is it good for beginners
Do
that have
do you
no?
mean Firebase Studio? Yes, Firebase
Yes,
Studio is good
yes.
for beginners who have no knowledge on how to create applications, but it's only good for creating simple projects or prototypes or projects for fun. You cannot rely on getting a job because of Firebase Studio. Not entirely, at least on Firebase Studio. You have to have your skill sets or you have to have your code knowledge there. It depends on what kind of job you're applying for, right? There are jobs that are emerging now which want developers who have AI coding experience. So they would be like, okay, someone who has worked with V0 or even Firebase Studio or Bolt.new or Cursor or Lovable, but they really want someone who knows how to code or who has experience. So it's good for beginners to try out different things, because the reality is that AI is just like you can say using AI is like using another person. And why I'm saying that is that, for example, if I have my brother and I have a brother who is also a programmer, if I delegate my task to him and I'm like, okay, Mohsin, I want this feature to implement, and Mohsin implements that, am I getting any experience from that? Not really, because Mohsin is the one who's developing those features. I'm getting the output of it, and I can say, okay, I instructed Mohsin, he created the application and whatnot. But the same goes with AI. When you basically ask AI to do stuff for you and you don't do it yourself, then you're not getting the experience. You're not getting into issues. You're not fixing those issues, and you as a developer will not grow. So coming back to your questions, is it good for beginners? It's good for beginners only for trying the AI out and to learn from it, not to rely completely on it and expect that this is going to get you jobs or get you far ahead in your career. I hope that makes sense. Good. Are there any other questions, Rabia, before I let you go?
Sir, what's your comments about cursor? Cursor के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? हमने वो भी यूज करके देखे हैं. Is it really good?
It's good. Cursor is good as well. Cursor is a good tool. You can use Klein, which is also a VS Code extension. All these tools behind the scenes, they're using the same model. So it's going to use OpenAI or it's going to use Gemini. Cursor has its own model as well. So it's good, but again, it depends on the developer who's using it. So someone who has no knowledge or no experience, उसके लिए cursor is not going to be really good as well. So the better you are as a developer, the better you can use the AI tools, so to say. AI tools are getting better, or is they are also getting better for even non-developers as well. But even then, the cursor or the model, the tool cursor itself will be as useful as the developer is, or as good the developer is. The good or the better output would be from cursor as well. So it's a good tool, I would say. Okay, then I will let you go. If you have more questions, please let me know in the private chat, and then I can answer those questions as well. Do-do-do-do-do. So someone says you're a front end developer, right? I am a software architect, but I focus on front end. Yes, so you can say I'm a front end. I'm a front end focused developer or a front end focused software architect. So what are the changes that AI has made to the front end engineering? it has made it easier to create features. For example, centering a div is not a problem anymore. You can create UIs pretty efficiently. It has become good in creating HTML, CSS, and layouts, so to say. But again, if you really want something that is scalable, that is flexible, that is based on your business use case. For example, if you create a product and your product has to change its own theme based on the customers. For example, you build a product that is used in daraz, that gets used in, I don't know, other Pakistani products like, I don't know, Zara is not a Pakistani product, but let's say any Pakistani product like Junaid Jamshed, etc., etc. If your website changes or your web application changes the whole theme based on your customer, has a different logo to share, has a different font to share, all of that makes the front end engineering of that particular application complex. So if the developer doesn't know about all these things or cannot instruct the AI to do this correctly, then the AI cannot do it. And then also you have to review the code. You need to see if it's good, optimized, etc., etc. So you need a developer in the loop for sure. I don't think I've seen it in a way that it's really flexible and uh, does not go against scalability, reusability, etc. So I've seen duplicated code, etc., etc., which can be a problem for a longer run or for a medium to large scale project. So AI is getting really, really good, but it's not there yet to replace developers. Sir, we build apps in Cursor AI. Yes, you can build applications using Cursor AI. Which one is better to stand out? What do you mean? A developer can only stand out by their own skill, not by the AI tools that they use. It's the same as asking, is a JavaScript developer more cool or cooler than a Java developer? So it doesn't really matter. I think the better you are at your skills, the better you stand out, and the more projects that you have to show off before you apply for jobs. Amazing products, sir. Please provide the best AI tools. Thanks. I would say one of the best tools that I use every day is AI Studio. If you have not used AI Studio, I would say use that. Coming back to the headphones. So these are the headphones that I use. It's called Arctis Nova Pro Wireless. I'm going to share this in the chat. Mine doesn't look as cool. I don't know why. It's probably the lighting that they have. But yes. So I would say AI Studio is something that I use almost every day. I went to Germany and I was trying to go to a particular place in the city of Düsseldorf, and I wanted to get a ticket, right? A ticket for the bus and the trains. So when I was at the machine, it was all in German, and I had no idea which ticket should I pick because there were so many options. And what I did was I just took out my phone, opened AI Studio, took a picture of these are the options, and then I told AI Studio that okay, I'm going from this station right now, and I have to go to this place. Which ticket should I buy? And AI Studio basically gave me an answer. Okay, this is the ticket that you should have, which was the adult ticket. So I bought that. So this is something that I use almost every day. I even used it when I was publishing my book to Amazon to take it through the whole Amazon process. For example, I said, okay, I'm seeing this thing. I took screenshots and asked AI Studio, I'm seeing these options like a royalty of 70% versus 30%. Which one should I use? Which is better for my book, etc., etc. So those are the things that I do with AI Studio all the time, and it's free. AI Studio is free. You can use all these models like Gemini 2.5. We have Flash 2.5. All of these things are available there, and you can use them for free. So this is one of the things that I use. I also use Klein, which is a VS Code extension. So maybe I can first share AI Studio in the chat so you can try this out. That's not the link that I wanted to paste. This is the link. If I go here, paste it, and then I said Klein VS Code extension. So when I'm coding it myself, then I try to use VS Code. And with VS Code, you have this extension named Klein. What this it does is quite similar to Cursor. So what you do with Klein is you can essentially go here, have a chat, and ask questions from it. You can choose the model that you want to use. So here you can use Google Gemini, you can use Claude, you can use OpenAI, all of those things. And it can make changes directly to your code. And you can always go back to previous sort of state as well. So here you can say, okay, the last feature you did was not good, so you go back to the previous state and it instantly does it. So what I try to use is I try to use AI for a lot of things, including documentation. So for example, if I have my whole code base and I don't want to spend time on really updating the documentation myself, I just give it to AI and then it does it for us. So so yeah, and I'm primarily using Google Gemini in my VS Code with Klein, because Gemini has a really huge context window. So it has 1 million token window, which basically makes it easy to have to work with large code bases. I've not seen that with, for example, Claude or OpenAI, because the context window is too short. So Gemini is really good at that. So I try to use Gemini as much as possible. Amazing product says, thanks, no problem at all. By the way, I asked you if you want us to create a Firebase Studio based project, AI project today, right now. So I want you to come up with ideas. Let me know the ideas. What kind of project do you want to create with AI tools or with Firebase Studio? And I want you to think of something that uses AI behind the scenes to make it a bit more complex. So let me know your in the comments on YouTube, try, or Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you're watching from. Type the idea that that you want an app to be. So write an idea of an app that you want us to create today before we wrap up. We also have Afsar Zan in the chat. Afsar, do you have a question? Do you want to come on screen? You can see a private chat button on the UI, so you can just type there, and I can bring you on the screen. What is the scope of web in this development area? Sorry, I'm gonna go to the chat. The question is, what is the scope of web development in this digital era? Web development is still there. Every restaurant, every business who gets opened requires web and a web app. So we do have a scope for that. Uh, Miafa says, to learn latest GenAI or LLM models to stay up to date, to learn deep dive into LLMs and natural models. So you're asking which is better to stand out. I would say, again, it depends on who are you standing out for. Are you doing it to yourself? Do you want to stand out in front of your parents? I don't know. If you want to do, if you want to stand out, you need to see who are your, what's your target audience. If you want to get a job, then you need to act according to the job. If you want to apply for a job that uses Gen AI or LLM models, then that's what you should focus on. If you want to work as a research assistant or in the research department of a company that uses like the core large language models, core Python, core machine learning algorithms, etc., then you do that. It's not something that there's nothing, and I think there's a concept. This is a concept that all junior developers have, and I had that too as well. There's no such thing as a best technology, a best way to do things. It's always going to be based on the situation. The answer usually is it depends. It depends on what you want to do. So it's not just because of your own ego or your own thought process that okay, this is the best thing and I want to do the best things because I want to do the best things. That's, with no offense, it's stupid. You always would go with the target that you have in mind, and you would go into looking, okay, do I want to work in a company that uses Gen AI and LLM models? Then that's good enough. Or you go deep into neural networks, all the core stuff like lemmatization, stop words, blah blah blah, and you learn from the scratch, and then you apply in your job. If you spend too much time on learning something that you're not going to apply to your jobs, it's a waste of time, to be honest, unless you're passionate about it and you want to do it as a side hobby. But anything that you spend time on and it's not going to be used at all, it's a plain waste of time. So do it in a reversed engineering approach. Look into what do I learn that helps me in my career, and this is the kind of job that I want to do. Then you can see if you have even jobs around your city or your place where you want to apply and work at. If you learn a tool or something that you don't have jobs for, then that's also stupid. Just because something is cool and shiny doesn't mean that you have to do it. So you need to see, okay, what are the jobs that I have and how can I grow in my career with certain things, certain tools, and then you pick that one that is better for you. So there's no objective fact that this or that. It would always be based on the situation. I hope that answers the question. What is the difference between a software architect and a software engineer? A software engineer is not a software architect. A software architect is a position that is a bit higher than a software architect, than a software engineer. Usually the progression of a software developer goes like this: you are an intern or an associate software engineer, then you become a software engineer, then you become a senior software engineer, then you become a team lead, or you don't become a team lead. That's questionable, so to say. So after being a senior software developer, you either become a team lead or you become a software architect, which means that a software architect is someone who knows how to architect applications. They know how to if there comes a project requirement, what kind of tools to use, how would the architecture be when it comes to deploying the web applications, on how to create the components, pages, how to structure the code, how to work within the organization. So it's not, software architecture is not just about coding, it's understanding about the dynamics of the organization, making decisions based on factors that are available, for example the cost, the team's skill set, and what is their competence, the constraints of I don't know, time, the constraints of being able to use a third party tool or not. All of those things or factors come into consideration when it comes to software architecture. So a software architect is someone who architects the software, keeps maintaining the architecture on the long run, decides which tools to use, which tools to not use, and then which approach to take in certain decisions, but not also decisions, but also strategically what we have the goals for the long run. For example, if you're migrating something from an older legacy technology to a newer technology, how would you do that? How much time it's going to take, how much resources it's going to take, which kind of tools will you use, are you going to ship everything at once, are you going to use agile versus waterfall, what is going to be your release cycle, how would you document those things? So a lot of things come into play when it comes to software architecture. Sorry if I'm saying too much. I'm passionate about this. Sir, can you share your LinkedIn profile? Yes, definitely. If you go to, okay, I'm gonna share a link in the chat that takes you to this particular page. It's a bio link, and here you'll find my LinkedIn, my GitHub, a lot of those things: Facebook, X, Instagram, blah blah blah. But you can go to the LinkedIn and you'll find me, or you can just try to search my name, Muhammad Ahsan Ayaz, and you'll probably find me. Hope that answers the question. Okay, I'm looking at more questions. Sorry, here. So is programming necessary for this? Because this is one of the main things. For Firebase Studio, programming is required to some extent, but not completely. If you don't have any programming experience, you can still go to Firebase Studio and create applications. Amazing Product says, thanks. What about Grok AI? It's a good tool. I've heard about this. I've not used it myself. And what about Manus AI? I have not used it. You can try using it, to be honest, and see how it works for you. But again, I'm not someone who gets stuck on tools or jumps on every new fancy tool that comes out. I have, for example, I have a job. I have certain targets. I pick things based on my targets. I don't pick tools just because they're cool. Farman says, sir, to use this Firebase Studio and Gemini for beginners, what is the thing that we should learn? Nothing, to be honest. Just go to studio.firebase.google.com and then you can start building applications. So there's the link now. There's the link up the top. You can see in the chat, and then you can just take it from there. Afsar says, sir, can I join the call? I have an idea for yeah, sure. Afsar, I'm bringing you on stage. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so I just thank you for your content, first of all, and Alhamdulillah, I've learned a lot from you.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so as we are developing an app today, probably using Firebase, why not we develop a simple app that allow user to upload a simple icon, basically SVG,
Mm-hmm.
and and when the user upload that icon, it allow user to animate it through their SVG paths. You have
Mm-hmm.
seen in a lot of
Okay.
applications,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I understand.
We have this kind of applications where sorry, landing pages where animate where the icon gets animated and new effects get shown,
Mm-hmm.
right? A few weeks back, there was a free bold weekend uh,
Yeah.
what do you say, an offer. So I have used that thing and I've tried to create one, but my SVG animator was not that good. But I could
Mm-hmm.
share that also in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could build something like that, because it's just like how you are dealing with your SVG parts and how
Mm-hmm.
your animations are getting applied. And that's where we can learn a bit more. We can say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I've,
Absolutely.
I've shared that link also, Hassan. If you just go there and see, you'll get a
Let me
general
see.
idea of.
Okay. So this is what you created with Bolt Neo SVG
Yeah.
animator. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can download Angular SVG somewhere. Da, 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 da. No, that's not the one. Mm, SVG icon maybe. Mm-mm-mm. Seek logo. Let's see if I can download it.
That's a PNG.
Okay, so this is
Yeah,
the.
you can download the SVG one basically.
Huh? Okay, I got the SVG of Angular, so let's see if I can try that in the package here. So here is the SVG.
There are a few more tweaks that I need to do it, but then that was the free version which I've used it
Okay,
to set up the animation speed, size, and have different effects.
okay, interesting. So now what I
I think
can.
yeah, there's a button at the bottom. You need to click
Aha,
first
okay,
time start animation.
okay, good.
There was a bit of more behavior changes I need to do, but I didn't get the time.
No problem. Yes. Okay, so something is happening. Speed is really fast. 3x, 2x, maybe 1x. Let's see. And my camera is gonna die.
Can you open the icon which you are uploading? Let's see if it has SVG code.
Yes. Give me one
What I
second.
can
Let me see. Da, 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 da. SVG is here. Let's see if I can open it. Okay, let's see. So if I look at page source, yeah,
yeah,
we do have the SVG here.
okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it showed something and then it went a bit weird. But yeah, I can imagine that happening. Let's see.
Yeah, can you just try to upload a similar icon from font icons or icon modes? A simple icon with fewer parts.
Let's see. Chevron. No, on Chevron. Maybe
Font
mail
awesome?
icon SVG. I want to try something that is. I'm gonna shut off my camera or change it to this. Okay, so let's see if I go here. If I go to view file, this is the SVG. If I save that here, go to SVG path and then upload a new file. Come back, download mail SVG. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to take more questions from the chat as well. So we'll talk about those. Okay, so now I can do start animation, I think. Let me see if anything is failing here. No, if I say draw, okay, maybe I need to change that. Okay, good. So I can change the speed. Maybe the default speed could be 1. That could be
Yeah,
something.
probably I need to work on few settings, but just a general idea. It was
Yeah,
built
yeah. Let's
on
let's
an
try this.
array.
Let's try this. So I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to also show you that we have something called the Notebook LM, which is an amazing tool as well for research, etc. So I would say, let's say we are going to discover some sources for animating SVG paths and applications that have that can animate SVG paths on the web. Okay, so we are going to do a quick research using Notebook LM, and this is a really cool tool from Google itself. And you can search for topics. You can also go ahead with create some audio podcast from here as well. But now it's adding some resources for this particular topic, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to create a prompt for me that I can paste to Firebase Studio. So we are using one AI for another AI. So we can go here and say create a prompt for Firebase Studio to create a web application that allows animating SVG icons, allow to save. We can also say maybe to I don't know, save animations is not probably okay. Allow to save animations in storage as well. No, I can say maybe no authentication required. Use Firebase, for example, storage for files, or maybe not files even. Use Firebase Firestore to store relevant data. We can also maybe say I'm not really sure if we should be using storage or not because I don't want to make it too complex. But let's go with this. Let's go with a simple idea, and we can see if it can create that. So with using all these resources that it has, it should be able to create a prompt for us that we can give to Firebase Studio right here. We could start with a really simple prompt, to be honest, but I think this is a good way. So here we have the prompt now. So here it says create a web application using Firebase Studio, functions as SVG icon animator. So we are going to go ahead, copy all of this, and then we can go to Firebase Studio and we can give it like this. And you can see that if I type something simple here, you can see it says improve prompt. But if I just go ahead and paste all of this, then it does not, which means that it's okay with a bigger prompt to understand what's going on in here. So we'll see what it comes up with out of the box. So we'll let this happen. In the meantime, I'm gonna take some questions as well from the chat. But actually, let's have a look. So here we have animate SVG, features, animation interface, SVG path animation, stroke animation, basic transformations, animation logic, animation saving. So this is where the backend comes in. This is going to use Firestore, Firestore without user authentication. Animation retrieval is going to retrieve from Firestore. So I've deliberately made it so that it uses only Firebase Firestore. So we don't have to use storage, but we could also say, okay, store the files on the Google Cloud storage. And if you want, you can also implement that later as well, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now we have gotten some colors as well. I think um I'm not really sure if I really want these colors, to be honest. So we have customize here. Let's go ahead and change some colors maybe. So here we have some color here. I would say primary color would be, I would say, a shade of purple. I don't know which would that be. Background is very light, and the accent color is gonna be, I would say, a shade of blue that complements the purple. I don't know if it's going to be able to automatically give the color, but that would be fun to see. So if I save this, let's see what happens. Okay, so it says +2. It doesn't show the color here, so we'll see what this does, or if it just breaks everything apart. We'll see. So we'll prototype the application and let it do its thing in the meantime. I'm taking questions from the chat in the meantime. I think sir programming is necessary for this because this is one of the main things. Yes, a bit, but not too much. B Alpha says, Assalamu alaikum wa assalam. Brother, I'm going to learn React JS. Which thing should I learn first? I would say go with web development basics. So if you go to CodewithAhsan.dev and go to courses, you can see both courses here. One is of web development. There are more than 1600 people who are already learning, and this is for free. So you can learn web dev in Urdu from here. And once you're done with this, you can go to the React.js course, which is also in Urdu, but this one is paid, so you have to pay for this. And this is on Udemy. So you can learn React.js in Urdu on Udemy. And this has like a practical project. It has all the concepts, core concepts that you need to learn as well. And you can see that we have got like 4.8 rating from 35 people. So this shows that the project is or the course is actually really good, so to say. All right. So now it's still reasoning about the main app's code, and we'll see what this comes up with. And are we able to? We're going to try the same SVGs, the Angular one, and then also the icon SVG that we downloaded, and we'll see how this works. Okay, so it's making some changes. I just want to make sure that I gave it some colors, right? But I'm not really sure if it's going to take those colors because I'm a bit skeptical about this part here. I was expecting to see two more colors, or at least the colors here on the blue and the purple that is going to be used, but only time will tell. I'm gonna change the battery of my camera in the meantime. Let's see. And let's see. Okay, good. Any more questions in the chat in the meantime? Afsar is asking, do you lead code? No, I don't do lead code. Again, I as I said, I don't do things just because they're cool. I go with the target based approach usually. So if I'm not really applying to, for example, Facebook, Amazon, Google, I don't need to do lead code. Or if I don't want to focus on getting that part of my skill set better, lead code definitely helps you become better at coding or programming logic as well. But I still have a lot of things in my career growth that I want to focus on. For example, learning Angular a bit more, learning these AI tools as well that will help me in my career as well. So I think I can't really do everything. So if I focus on lead code quite a lot, then I would miss a lot of things in what I'm doing right now. Okay, so it generated something which is interesting. This is the SVG part. So I can paste SVG markup in here, and then it should work. Okay, so let's see this in a full screen view, right? So we got controls saved. This is going to be the saved animation, so we don't really see anything here. Maybe it's breaking. No animation save yet. Okay, good. So now I can go ahead and use this Angular logo SVG. I want to see what it looks like. Okay, so we are rendering the SVG right here. Okay, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. Okay, so now what I can do is I should be able to say duration is 3 seconds. We got delays, iterations, direction alternate, reverse. Right now, it's not animating anything at all. I think because it doesn't have any strokes. Could be the case. Let's try the other one, which was this. So if I open this guy and go to view page source, and then copy this. Let's see if I try to go here. Okay. Do I have to click a button to do that? No, reverse. Alternate. Okay, I don't see any animation. Okay, so I don't see any animation, which is a bit weird. So duration, or I think it should probably be just doing it automatically. So maybe what we can do is we can try to give this to AI and ask it if it can fix this. So I'm trying SVGs like the ones attached. I don't see any animation. Why? And can we fix it? Or can we make it work? So we're going to attach both. Okay, it can just attach image. So I have to go give the code here. So let's give it like this. So we got one SVG here. Then we're going to give another SVG, which was this Angular one. So let's quickly copy this and paste it right here. Let's see what happens. You found the issue the animations weren't working because SVGs you provided don't have the required class animated element. Ah, what? I made the change that will fix this for you. I've updated the app to automatically add class animated element. Now, who's going to tell me that? So then it's going to do it nicely. Then I can go ahead and I'm going to copy this, refresh. Oi, look at that. I have no clue what just happened. Translate X is, what is it? Can I make it 0? So this is 0. Translate Y is 25 for some weird reason. And then we have scale, we have rotate 45 degree. Why do I have to do that? Okay, this is super weird. Okay. Can we keep the default animation values to, what do you call it, to neutral 0, and I can, or and the user can then adjust them manually, because this rotation, I don't want this to be out of the box. And again, whoever is watching the video, you see this is why developers, or the one who is actually building the application, it's important. Otherwise you get what you got in the beginning. So it's something that's happening. Why is it happening? Why is it not happening? Nobody knows. So we have to guide the AI to actually work as they should. So now we have this. So I'm gonna change this. Okay, now I can start with animation. So there's no rotation. If I say, you see, so this is much better now. It's an amazing user experience now. Now I could rotate it, I could try to not rotate it, etc., etc. But this one right now only animates one part of it. It doesn't animate the whole thing, so to say. And it takes a duration. It also has iterations, direction, normal. I can say alternate. So now it's going to be alternate. See, this is also nice. But what if I use the Angular SVG? What does it do? I don't think it does anything at all, because there are no strokes there. So no strokes, no outlines. That's why. So the more in this one, we do have a rect that's here, right? Then we have another rect. Then we have a path. And then we have this stroke happening on this thing as well. But what I want to say to this one is, I'm gonna actually copy the SVG that we had before. So let's take this one. So for example, I can say for this SVG, we are only animating one path, rect, whatever is on the top of the envelope, so to say. Envelope. It doesn't animate the outline of the envelope. So let's see if it fixes it. P Alpha says, what will be the new innovation in programming Bitcoin? Like, can we make AI tool front end React.js and use it in AI's backend? I'm not really sure what's going to be the new innovation. I can't see the future, but who knows? I think it's going to be AI is going to get smarter and smarter, and we are going to see future use cases as well. I think the idea should be how can we adapt or learn the AI tools so we can use them better, so to say. Okay, so this is the stroke animation for this one. If I try to do the same thing with, I don't know, if I try with the same with this one, nothing happens, right? So nothing happens. If I go with the male now, still this one works. You want to animate only the top flap of the envelope, not the whole thing. The current logic just animates the first element it finds. To fix this, I'll update the logic specially target the last animatable element that's which you provide. In case of the mail icon, this will be the flap, which is the last pass. I think it understood me wrong. I think you understood me wrong. I don't want just one path to be animated, but maybe all paths, one after another, if that's appropriate, or find the best case for animating. But I don't really know now, because if there's an SVG like this, I think this is more like the animation that someone would want to work on. um I don't know if this is, we'll see. Data dev, how's it going? So we find the best case for animating SVG icons, or maybe we can decide which paths to animate and animate none by default, right? What do you think? So we can, I think it would be nice to have the choice to do so. Let's see if it can finalize that. You're right, my previous fix was too specific, blah, blah, blah. Now it's going to say to remove automatic animation behavior. From now on, when you paste in the SVG, no elements will be animated by default. Instead, you'll need to manually add the class animated to the specific SVG elements. That's interesting. But okay, so this is the animation that we have. We could also rotate that. But okay, let's see if I can paste the different SVG. Okay, I don't have any way of adding the animation class. I don't want to add the class manually to the SVG. The users are not going to do it. Provide the option in the UI to animate paths, right? Data Dev says, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I got promoted at office. I work in state government as a clerk. Hope you're doing fine at your end too. Congratulations. Happy for you. Yeah, I'm doing fine as well. Thank you. So let's see if it can come up with the right approach, and we are going to also look at the saving animation as well, and then we can discuss what do we think about the solution itself. I will also be ending the stream at about 8 minutes. So we're going to take it from there then. Okay, so it is really working hard to add some controls. That is nice, I think. Okay, so we got an issue. What's the issue? Hydration failed because the server rendered HTML didn't match the client, and that is because, okay, so we have a hydration issue. That's fine. There's something server side rendered that is not matching the client side rendered content. So it has found the issue, blah, blah, blah. The hydration error you're seeing is happening because the server and client are initially doing something different. Okay. We still have an issue, which is, I think, adding the ID or not. I would say remove the default markup, because the problem is it's trying to render something on the server, the SVG, and then it's rendering on the client as well, which is making everything break, right? And that's not what we want. So one of the things, so before we fix that, I want to show you something. So if I say enable stroke animation, nothing happens because now we have this option of selecting the path. So I select the first path and now I enable stroke animation. Yay, let's go. So this is what we wanted. But what I'm going to say is remove the default markup of SVG from server side rendering. Just add it on the client side. Okay, so let's just do that. And one of the things that I just thought about, that was with the, what was the site? Did I close it? Where was it? Okay, can't find it anymore. Okay, anyways, we'll see. Okay, so it now removed it and fixed the issue. As you can see, now we don't have any issues because it's not rendering that on the server now. So now I can go ahead and animate it. Nice. Which means now if I try to use the mail SVG, let's see what happens. So I'm gonna quickly go here and paste it. Oi. So we have some issue here. Let's see. So we do have, I think maybe I should not be copying this thing. So maybe we can just go ahead and copy the SVG instead. All right, so we have the SVG right here and we have the first path. So I'm going to select this path, right? This is animated. Wait, look at that. Nice. And now if I remove this guy, genius. So I like this. So we can decide which paths to basically use to generate or to animate. Now we're going to save this animation. I'm going to say mail outline. And then we go ahead and we say save. But then the question is, should we wait? No, we got an issue. Could not save animation. Why? Permission denied. Ooh. Okay, we can probably try to fix this. But I don't want my page to refresh. So what we would want to do is not only just save the animation, but maybe also get the code as well. Because how would I animate this later on? So if I enable stroke animation now, and let's say we just go with rectangle 2. So no flap animation, but this one. Okay. But then also this one. There's a rectangle here somewhere as well. Okay. So now if I do save animation, mail outline, animation saved. That's super awesome. And now I can go to save now, and you can see mail outline now. Good. So if I try to change the SVG, let's say I go here, pick this one, and change it in the UI. Okay. So now we have this guy. We do have paths, but I don't think they animate now, not in this SVG. Anyways, so now if I go to saved and say mail outline, see, it also changes as well. Nice. So it brings it. The last thing I think we can do is can we add the feature to copy the code for the animation or animated SVG, and we'll see how this goes from there. So we'll add this last feature, and then we can also go ahead with the project that we have, which is, okay, we probably don't have a project created yet because we are not deploying it anywhere, which means all of this is in a dummy Firebase project. But if I deploy it, then of course, yes, we would have it. So we would then just end it on a note where we have this tool working And that's pretty much it. So let's see if we can at least see the code or see this with the animation, because whatever is doing here seems pretty nice. It would be nice to just copy this SVG to HTML pages and then just taking it from there. So animate SVG page, SVG preview, we have header TSX, all of them have been modified a bit. It's checking for errors, correcting the syntax. Okay, so it's making some more changes. I hope that I don't have to restore to the previous state and it still works as it is right now. Okay, so if I go and try to animate it, that works good. I go to saved animation, go to mail outline, and you can see it automatically loads that as well. And now I can see a copy code at the top, and here is the whole SVG. So this is the SVG that I have, and then this is the animated element that we have right here. Okay. Can we quickly try that though? Mail SVG. I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could try that. View page source, but this is an SVG now. If I inspect it, this is the SVG that we have. Can I add a new class? What was it called? Animate something something? Animated element. But can I also change this SVG as well? So I'm going to change the SVG, which has been changed now. Then we check the animated element. Where are you? Here. Let's bring you closer. And then we say add new class animated element. What happened here? Okay, so I'm adding a class here. Aha, animated element. Then we can add some styles, or we can say SVG animated element here. And then we can add the styles from here. But we also would have to have keyframes as well, which is, I don't know how we can add keyframes. That's not something I've done before. How do we add keyframes? Maybe we can just do this. Where did you go? Interesting. Now I have to Google how to add keyframes in Chrome debugger. Inspect and modify. More tools, animations, show animations, and then we can edit animations. This is, I think, after a long time I've actually opened, or I've tried to search something on Google. Where can we find animations? Maybe because this is not an HTML page, it's not going to work out. Anyways, I'm assuming that the code works. Otherwise, I would have to create my own HTML page and then render it on the browser. Maybe we can do it quickly. If I go to Replit, maybe we can do it there. That could have been much easier if I did that earlier. So we create a new one. Oi, what's happening here? Responsive web design. No, I don't need to update anything. Just give me the code. Your public apps limit has been exceeded. What does it say? I have 79 out of 10 apps created. Okay, I think because Replit was probably free back then. Code sandbox, code sandbox, code sandbox, code sandbox. Let's see which one does it first. We just want a HTML one. HTML. HTML plus CSS. That's the one. Yeah, for template. Animate. SVG. Here. We go here. We add the SVG. Sign into fork and edit. What on earth? Okay, sign in. Sign in with GitHub. Authorize. And here we go. We add the SVG. Argument is undefined or null. Beautiful. It's going to probably find it soon. And then we go with CSS. Let's save the file. Install the CSS should have this. Should I restart the server or no? Save without formatting. It seems like the code sandbox's VM is super slow. I don't want that. Don't want that as well. Maybe we can now go to here. Run. And then we have the HTML here. And then we have the SVG right here. So in the body, we have this nav, blah, blah, blah. And then we can go ahead and paste the SVG here. Does it work? No. We have the body. We have the SVG here. And if I reload now, there we go. So just checking that the code works. So we have the animation working as it should. So this passed and the animation got saved as well. Good. Unknown says, can we set up the whole code files in our local system? Yes, you can. I think you can go to the pro code mode on Firebase and then you can add it or you can download the code yourself. All right, I think we're going to end it at this point. Asfar, do you have any last things to say? Or what did you think about this experiment?
Yeah, it was good. Probably we could ask the AI to look at the path element and then look at the data attribute inside the SVG and add animation on it instead of adding a separate CSS class because the user wants to export the entire SVG code and use it as an icon.
Yeah, that could be possible, yes. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. We could expand on that.
Thank you, Hassan, for getting me in.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for joining. All right, everyone. Thank you. I'm going to be ending this stream soon. Thank you for Afsar to joining as well. Thank you, Rabia, as well, who joined as well. And thank you, everyone who joined the session. I hope you learned quite a lot. And thank you to Ali as well, who basically suggested us to have this session. So not only we went through how cool Firebase Studio is and Google Gemini Code Assist is, we actually showed you how to think when building an app with Firebase Studio. We also looked at another practical example, actually, that we saw not only with the project that I created that you all joined, but also with creating sort of an SVG animator as well, which was super, super interesting. So thank you again. And I wish you a happy rest of your Sunday. I'm going to just look at the chat and then we'll take it from there. Faisal says, hey bro, good morning. Hello Faisal, we're just ending the stream now. Feel free to go back and see the whole session of Firebase Studio and Google Gemini Code Assist, and I think you'll learn a lot. With that said, everyone, thank you. It's Sunday. I gotta go back to my family, have breakfast as I should actually, and not as I did. So happy coding, and feel free to look into the other things that I'm working on. There are a lot of good news coming in as well. Recently, we published our Angular book, which is Mastering Angular Signals. This is available on Amazon now, and we got our first 5-star review from someone I don't really know, to be honest. And I think I don't really remember which country was it, but we got a 5-star review for the book. That's a good start. I think we're going to get much more because the book's content is really really good. I also updated the book a bit more to include just the table of contents as well, and I'm exploring more options to make it easy for writing books and publishing those as well. There's a Google developers expert who shared sort of a GitHub repository that makes it easier to write books and also to publish or to generate the builds so we can publish on leanpub, Amazon, etc. The process itself takes a lot of time because of reviewing, double checking, proofreading, etc., and then aligning the code as well. So it takes a lot of effort. And I'm also running a couple of threads at the moment. We have this Angular book coming in. I have a few ideas of some Angular videos as well, and the web dev course that we have that I showed you before, which can be found on codewithahsan.dev. We are also converting that into a book as well. So if you go to codewithahsan.dev and if you go to the courses page, that's not the thing that I wanted to show at all. What happened? Did I copy the whole SVG? I think I did. So this is the one that you should be able to see. So if you go to courses and you go to web development basics, this is a whole course on web dev basics like HTML, JavaScript, CSS in Urdu. So you go through all of these, and once you do so, you have a complete understanding of the web development basics. So we are converting that into a book as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be free uh, because the course is available as well. But we'll see, or we'll do it like a free to whatever you want to pay stuff. So we'll take it with that. So there are a couple of interesting things coming up as well, and I also got the copies of my book. So that was also awesome. I'm going to be sharing more news later on. But as said, thank you everyone for joining. It was a nice session. I enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed as well. And as always, happy coding. I'm going to see you next time, inshallah. Take care and have fun. And we're going to leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you.